What's up guys, Shane here, Fugatech 3D Printing, and today we're going to check out some PLA from Schoon Corporation. And I welcome you back guys. So today I have 5 rolls from Schoon Corporation, and this is their PLA filament, which is, the colors are pretty nice, but we'll get to that in a second. So I reached out to them. And actually, I think they reached out to me. These ones reached out to me. Said, hey, I'd like you to try some of our filament. I said, yes, I would love to try some PLA. They told me 5 rolls of anything. They really do PLA and ABS from what I remember. And I'm not really a big ABS person. I prefer to print with PLA. And that's what I'm really good at now. So I wanted to try out 5 different colors. And just right here off the bat with the blue, the color is amazing. It's like kind of sky blue. It just looks great. So yes, they agreed, and they even gave me a coupon code, which I'll talk to you guys about later. And yeah, it's just, I'm blown away. 5 rolls of filament to go ahead and try out. So I'm going to do a couple colors of each, but let's look at the colors and let's see what the boxes are like. Now I did receive it just like this, 4 spools inside of a box. The blue spool was not. I'm guessing maybe this was a damaged box or something like that. The spool was still in good condition regardless, so that's, okay. I'm not going to knock them for that one. And let's look at all the other colors. So here we have yellow, which is a really nice yellow, I can say that. Actually, I forgot. So the boxes are super duper simple, just brown boxes. On here it tells you that it is for FDM AM 3D printers. It's printer filament, the material is PLA, the length's 340 meters. I think they all say that. Yeah, all less than 340 meters. It says it's a kilogram, 1.75 millimeter. The color is yellow, and it actually tells you, and that's actually in color. So orange, the gray, the purple, they're actually in that color print. So that's kind of cool. I mean, like the font there. And the printing temperature is 180 to 210. So that's actually pretty low temperature, 180 for filament, or at least for PLA in my opinion. Oh, look at that orange. Man, the wind on these, we're gonna open these up here in a minute. This is probably the best wind I've ever seen in a filament. It's really nice. Okay, here we have a gray, and the inside hub of this one is actually blue. The other ones are all clear. Again, this is still the gray PLA. This one I'm excited for. I don't know why, but I wanted something a little bit different, and I got this deep purple, which just looks amazing. I mean, this is such an awesome looking color, I have to say. Now each spool is packed with 2 large Deskin packs, which is really nice to see. Again, the wind is mind-blowing. I mean, top quality. You could definitely tell that they put some time into winding their filaments. It's also great clear spools. Like, why aren't companies doing this all along? Clear spools is just mind-blowing, isn't it? You can actually see how much filament you have, and you kind of gauge so much easier. It's nice to have the ones with the cutouts, but I mean, heck, probably 80 or 90% of the spools that I've ever received from all these different companies all have solid spools. Very rare do they have cutouts in them at all. So this is an awesome thing to see, how it's just has this, it's clear spools. Again, I lost for words on that one. It's just awesome. The only thing that would make these better is if these were Ziploc bags like Maker Geeks. They're the only ones out there that I've seen that do it. That's my only thing that could make it so much better. Look at the vacuum seal on this. Holy cow. There we go. Little smell to it. But man, the wind is truly amazing. And it's like that, looks like through the entire spool. A lot of companies, when you get down to the bottom of the spool starts out with an amazing wind. It really does. It looks really good. It's nice and tight for the first maybe 100 meters. And then after that, it just kind of goes batshit crazy. I mean, I don't know why. I'm not into the technology of filament spooling. I've never seen it in person, so I don't know why it goes crazy like that, but this is work of art. Oh, look at this. You probably won't be able to see this. They actually have the markings on here too, so about 300 meters roughly on that one. Then we have 200 and 100. And here on the side it tells you the printing temps 180 to 210, the storage temp 10 to 50 C, suggested temperatures. Oh yeah, okay. It doesn't tell anything about the bed though. 3D printing filament, a biodegradable material. Yeah, I am thoroughly impressed so far. And again, I wanted to get some different colors to try out the vast array of colors that they have, and I am so far super impressed. So I'm going to just do, I don't know, maybe I'll do 1 or 2 big prints with some of these, and I'll print a bunch out with each of the colors just to kind of look at, and then we're just going to call this a big Schoon PLA review simply because it's easier that way, and I'm not going to do 5 reviews for 5 colors of PLA. PLA's PLA. Colors vary a little bit, but most companies only send me 1. These guys are awesome, they sent me 5. So Schoon, so far, you guys are doing good. Spool design, all that is good. Enough of me blabbering, let's get printing and see how all these turn out. Alright, so Schoon PLA. See, I've printed 4 of the 5 colors. I did not print the silver roll yet because I've been printing this for over 2 weeks now since I did the initial opening video to start this off. And I think I've done quite enough prints. I'm going to save the silver for a different project. I still have a fair bit of most of the rolls. The blue I used almost the entire roll of. Orange is more than half printed. Purple is almost gone. And the yellow, actually I printed the least amount with the yellow, oddly enough, I don't know why. But I tried to print a bunch of different things with all the different filaments. Obviously I printed my maker coin in every one of them, and we'll take a closer look at these here in a minute. But I kind of wanted to do a little bit different. I try to do different things with all the different filament that I get in, to kind of make it useful. Now with the blue PLA, I obviously printed this giant Squirtle. Little issues with that, but not sure what that was all about. Everything else I printed with the blue was for my brand new CR10S that Vase sent me to review. So all the mods and add-ons and changes that I'm making to that printer are all in the blue PLA, which I don't have too much left. So hopefully I get everything printed out for it that I want. But that's going really, really good. The purple I used for prototyping. So here I am working on editing the LCD mod for the Ender 2, which I also got from Vase recently, and this is just to kind of extend it and pull it more forward. Again, I wanted to use some of these filaments. I like getting these filaments is because I'm able to prototype so much more because I get filament in, you know, from these companies. And yes, I can do some test prints, but I also do practical prints with them as well because a kilogram goes a long way. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. A kilogram goes a very long way, and it's great for using, you know, to do things like this. It's an advantage that I have being a YouTuber. So I like it. I try to do more with that. But again, yeah, so just some prototyping with that, some Vase mode stuff. Printed this giant Gengar, which he had some issues. Baby Gengar came out fine. And then I did some more prototyping. Is right here I have a little case that I made for my kids. They have a little, what's it called? Microscope, little kid microscope, and it has like key combinations on here, things like that. But I wanted somewhere just to keep the filament. This is a little heavier than what I want it to be. It's a little thicker than I think it should be as well, but I want to make sure I had decent walls. But this just holds all of their slides, and it's got a finger depression in there so you can actually get your fingers on it and pull it out easy enough. So yeah, this came out great with the filament. A little bit of stringing on the Monoprice Select Mini. That's the other thing. I tried printing this on every single printer that I have. I did some on the Anycubic i3, the CR10, the CR10S, the Gtech i3, the FT5, the Ender 2, and the Monoprice Select Mini, which actually the purple is still sitting down there on the printer. So I tried to print with as many different printers as I could because I got so much filament to print with, you know, for this review. So quality wise with this filament, when I'm having mixed results with it, and I can't really explain why I'm getting the results. If you're printing something with infill, it comes out great. The walls come out perfectly on pretty much every printer. It does under extrude a smidge. I didn't actually measure the size. I just did a couple test cubes. They came out fairly well, but they were a little under extrude, so I just upped my extrusion multiplier by 0.02, and then everything printed fine after that. But you can really tell on some of the prints, like the top of this fish, you can see just a little bit through there. It was just, this one was a little bit under extruded, and I really noticed it after. I should have did my test print before I did this print, but I did not because I just felt good about it. I don't know, the presentation of the rolls were just so good. I just had good feelings about it, but it does under extrude a little bit, so you need to up your extrusion multiplier for this filament. At least I had to, and that goes for all the filament. And even after doing that, if you look here at the top of Gengar, you can see he has some missed layers here, or it's just like under extrusion when doing these over air bridging. Now he is completely, you know, hollow, I should say, yes, and so is Squirtle, completely hollow. Squirtle also had these weird issues here with under extruding on the head of him. Now I didn't have this the last time because the last time I printed a giant Squirtle max size on the FT5 was with the Inland PLA. That Squirtle came out absolutely perfect, except for here at the bottom of the eyes. Every filament has issues with under these eyes. It is a super extreme angle for it to try and bridge over, so I understand if it doesn't work, but these are all printed with 3 perimeters, 0% infill, 3 bottom, and 0 top. So that's how you get this to kind of, so you don't have to get the solid layers throughout the print, otherwise it would be solid layers all over the place. But yeah, I mean, it just like between like his neck, the top of his head, the eyes, I'll give it pass, but down here in the tail as well, you know, just this under extrusion, it didn't really do well at all. Again, same on Gengar. Underneath his ears here, his points, whatever you want to call them, the top of his head, his tail here on the back, the eyes actually came out well, but here in his mouth was a little bit issues as well. Now I will say, at least for Gengar, this model I don't believe was supposed to be scaled like this. The ones from Flowalistic can be, and I've printed all the other ones, they're up top, you can't see them out of frame, but I printed all the other ones by Flowalistic at, what is it, 600 and some % to get this size, and they all came out great. This one is supposed to be pawns for, I think, a chess set, and actually has a little base that you can glue them onto. I don't know if these ones were meant to be scaled this large, so again, I'm not sure. So I went ahead and printed him at 200%, and he comes out this big, so a little bit bigger than my hand, and he came out almost perfect. He also does have a 8% infill. I wanted just to see if an infill would help. It did help a little bit. His mouth came out fine. These little points underneath of his ears were something weird as well there. The top came out fine as well. But I just wanted to see a little bit of infill with 2 perimeters came out better, and it did on this size. I didn't have enough filament to reprint him this large again, or I didn't want to waste the filament on a whole nother giant print because this was 20 hours. And I need my machines for other reviews, so I just did that one, printed them smaller. Again, so when it comes to printing with this filament, large prints with extreme overhangs and bridging with no infill, it has problems. I can't explain it, and I'm sorry for that. It just, for some reason, didn't work out so well. So in the orange here, this is a PSU box for the Ender 2's power supply, and 2 little pieces fit together. It's a pretty decent model that I found. I went ahead and modded it and added on some mounts here because I'm actually mounted to the bottom of that printer. And this came out great. It printed both of them just like this with the open holes underneath there. No support in the model. It bridged pretty well for what the Ender 2 can do. This was printed on the Ender 2. This took 14 hours to print this model. A lot of just slow printing because that thing only goes up like 55, maybe 60 millimeters a second. So it's kind of a slow print on a very simple model. So this is a geared vase that I downloaded a bunch of them on Thingiverse, and there's like 12 or 15 different vases in this one file that I use all the time. And I really like this gear vase. I used it recently in the 3D Solutech gray PLA review, and I like the model so much. And the purple looks really nice. I wanted to actually do some flowers with the little bit I have left. I think some purple flowers would look kind of cool. Give it to my wife for her birthday or something like that. But this came out great. I mean, I upped the extrusion on this, so very, very nice going around. I had my printer set to 90 millimeters a second, which it slows down when it goes into vase mode. It only goes to maybe like 50, 60 millimeters a second due to the calculations and how much it slows down for the perimeters. But yeah, this came out absolutely great. No banding anywhere from the printer, which was good. No under extruded lines anywhere in the print. That's the other thing. I didn't have any under extruded lines, like when you see the printers going and you get that dot, 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 and the line keeps going. There was none of that in any of these prints, which means that the filament was a consistent size. It might have been a little bit smaller, or just the way that it melted at the temperature at 200 degrees centigrade on every printer this printed with. Again, it's just a little bit odd for those ones. But yeah, so at vase mode, it came out great. I printed this Lego tire. This is 500%. I'm working on doing a Lego build for my kids. And I wanted to just try out, I printed this tire in a flexible filament, having a little bit of issues with that flex filament. So I wanted to try it in PLA. What would it feel like? What would it drive like on the floor? How well do the wheel hubs fit inside of this, which is not well. They are printed in ABS. This is printed in PLA. The scaling does not remain constant between those two materials printed at the same scale. The ABS does not fit inside of this. It probably could if I hammered it, but I might crack the PLA. So we'll see what I end up doing with that, but either way, I just wanted to print this out just to see what it was like printed in PLA and how it would feel. I also used the orange PLA for testing when I originally got the Ender 2 and tuning the Simplify 3D profile that I was making, and then I found one on Facebook, the Chris Elkins one, which is pretty good, a little bit different approach to how I do some things. But this was using my profile. This came out just fine. You know, a little bit issues with the retraction, but again, great way to test out, just have a new filament to try out and see if you really get your profile tuned in with that new filament. Now recently, as I said, I just got the CR10S and I went ahead and printed out these models. So this was printed on the CR10S, this was printed on the original CR10. I wanted to see if there was any print difference like right out of the box with a well-tuned Simplify 3D profile and see how they differed in their print quality. And there was a little bit different quality, a little lesser quality in the CR10 versus the CR10S. I understand different color filaments behave sometimes differently, but these were printed the same temperatures, the same everything on all the other printers. So the only difference would be the actual printer itself, in my opinion. So as you can see here on the screen, the colors are super duper vibrant. I will give them a definite A+ on the color. The color is very consistent throughout the spool, and that is shown throughout all of these different models using quite a lot of filament or just long extrusions of filament. Again, definitely A+ on the color. Quality of the filament, except for these two models, so except for these two 0% infill models, everything came out pretty much perfect. I only had to up my extrusion multiplier by 0.02 to prevent the under extrusion on the top layers. Walls were coming out fine. It was just top layers a little bit under extruded. I had to compensate for that in my slicer settings. But again, aside from that, all of these came out just absolutely great. It bridges really, really well on all of these models. Again, for up here, I think it's just the angle that these were all at. But all the other models that had bridging, it went well. When you're printing on support and you have support there, the support comes off super duper easily and very cleanly as well. I claim that also to be good support settings in Simplify 3D, but this is honestly some of the easiest filament or the easiest support I've ever had come off of models. I tried doing a little video on my phone of me taking out some support for the legs on the Ender 2 that I printed in the orange PLA. I literally was able to take my putty knife, put it in the side, crack it twice, and then the entire support just popped right off. The printer printed, I mean, absolutely miraculously. I can't get over the quality of that printer for being $130. Like, it's crazy. But just for how well that the support and the filament performed, because a lot of it has to do with filament. You can have good filament, bad support. You can have bad support and bad filament, bad. You can have one way or the other, and it never will work out. But if you have good filament and good support, it literally comes off in one nice chunk. There's no splitting, no pliers needed. Just take something, give it a little twist, pull it right off, and it's great. And it did do that very well on all the prints that I did print with support. They all came out very well. Very good. One or the other. So if you guys want to pick up some of this filament, I will put links to their website down in the video description. It's not affiliate links. There's no website. I'm thinking they sell this on Amazon. I think they only sell it through them. They have a boatload of colors. I really enjoyed their selection. They asked me to pick 5. I tried to pick some of the 5 brightest, and again, the purple was definitely a unique pick. I just wanted purple for some reason. I don't know why. It's a color that I haven't really printed much with, if at all. Yeah, I don't think I've ever printed with purple. So I wanted to try it out. They have a good color selection. Pricing on the filament is pretty good. And I'm pretty sure they gave me a coupon code, which I probably should check before I'm actually saying this in the video. If I have a coupon code, it will be down in the video description that you guys can use on their website. So go ahead down in the video description, check out their links. I do recommend this filament if it fits in your price point, and if they have the actual colors that you want. The colors are very vibrant, so if you're looking for that vibrant color and a consistency throughout the roll, this might be the filament for you. And that wraps it up, guys. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video and if you found it helpful, whether or not you should or should not buy some of the Schoon PLA filament, please give the video a thumbs up. If it didn't, thumb down, talk to me in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if you give it a thumbs up, comment too. I'd love to talk to you as well, not just the bad people, but those who actually like the video. I appreciate it. If you guys want to support me, best thing to do, subscribe, hit that bell icon. That way you get an email notification anytime I upload new content. And I do a lot of filament reviews. It's something I enjoy doing, so you get emails whenever I do those kind of uploads. If you want to support me financially, down below is Patreon link. Donate me $1 or more, I greatly appreciate it. All the funds go from there to buy filament for the channel when I actually buy filament on my own to review, and other various things I need to buy for the channel. If you want to support me without spending your money, down below lots of affiliate links. Do your daily shopping with those, and again, the money from there, I get a little slice of what you buy, literally pennies on the dollar, if that. And that comes back to the channel and helps me out buy things, accessories, upgrade my lighting. I just had to fix a lens recently. So that comes back to help pay for things like that to help me keep the channel running. So I thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, happy printing.